What's up, y'all? Another episode of Reach the People podcast. I'm your host, Darius Sanders. Today, I got another special guest with me, my guy, a dog, Isaiah Hardge.
What's good, brother?
How you feeling, bro?
I'm doing good.
You mind if we call you Zay?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Okay. But
You
I don't
gotta
know
call
if you
me.
want to. Everybody has their nicknames and stuff like that.
Oh
So,
yeah, you can
is
call
Zay
me Zay.
cool?
Yeah, Zay
Okay.
cool.
So how you living, bro?
Doing good, man. Can't complain. Living life. I'm
hmm
glad to be alive, waking up to see another day.
What'd you do in the off season? Like, let's go back a little bit before we get into everything. So, last time they really seen us play or you play was what, bowl game?
Nah, it was Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So I'll just talk about the off season. So what was your off season like? Like, what have you been doing? What have you been up to?
Dude, my off season really been just grinding.
You stayed here?
Nah, I have actually, yeah, I did stay here. I stayed here for a couple of days, and that's when I went back home. So I had worked out here for a little bit, and then went back to the crib.
hmm
Worked out, saw family, and then still been on that grind. Still,
Where's home for you?
Hollywood, Florida.
Hollywood.
Yep.
Where is that, in Broward?
Yeah, that's in Broward. It's like
Okay.
not too far from Fort Lauderdale.
That's one of the questions they asked. They talk about what part of Broward are you from, and how do you feel like that shaped you? You know, Coach Prime always talking about Florida boy. Is that a real thing, or is that something he just made up?
No,
Like the
that's a
Florida boy
real thing.
mentality. What is it? Explain it to us.
The Florida boy mentality is like when you coming from Florida, shoot, you already know what to do. You already know the hustle. You already know the grind. How we got to get it out the mud. You know, like coming from where I'm from, like Hollywood. I grew up in the hood, so I'm not saying I'm a hood now, but I grew up in the hood, so I saw a lot of things, and it just shaped me into like my character, shaped me to a gentleman that I am now. So I'm still gonna continue to be that person.
Yeah, I think when I hear Hollywood, I think of like glitz and glamour, bro, and like luxury.
Yeah,
So it's hard for me to be like, okay, Hollywood, that's an area where people are trying to make it out from,
right.
right? You overcame that. Let's talk about high school. What high school did you go to?
I went to St. Thomas Aquinas
So
Raiders.
is that in Florida?
Yeah, that's in Fort Lauderdale.
That's in Fort Lauderdale. So what went into your decision to go there? Because I know that's like a touted school with that produces athletes, even basketball too.
Yeah.
So you didn't go to like the high school that was near you. You decided to go to another school. What
hmm
went into that decision?
Um, that decision always been in my mind. Like I always wanted to go to St. Thomas when I was little. Ever since just watching them and seeing how the program is and seeing how the coaching is. So I always wanted to be a part of like a good program and a structured program. So that's how they really is. Just structure and they always a winning team. I wanted to be a part of a winning team.
How was your experience there? Playing? Did y'all have winning seasons? Like, I just want to get a grasp of what your experience was in high school.
Yeah, the high school part, my high school experience was good. You know, my freshman year I had played JV, so and that's when we got moved up later. But after that, we had won 3 consecutive back-to-back states champions.
Mm.
So
Why you never talk about that, bro?
I mean, I don't gotta brag about it.
No, it's facts, bro. It's no bragging.
No, I
You feel
know.
me?
I'm just humble like that. I don't
Yeah.
like talking about like me winning because I'm already knowing like I'm a winning person.
Mm.
So I just keep that to myself and
Yeah.
then let the my plan show.
What do the rings look like? You got to show me so we can put it in the podcast.
They big. They actually big. I got 2 silver ones and 1 gold one, and then I think you could flip it and it shows the state inside.
Swear?
Yeah,
That's hard.
yeah.
What was your favorite season? I mean,
Uh,
you won state 3 out of 4 times. So I mean,
Mhm.
kind of hard to choose.
I'll say my junior year. My junior year was my favorite year. I got to actually establish myself at the receiver position
Mm.
and then pop off. I was second receiver, leading in touchdowns and yards.
Yeah.
And that's when my senior year, I say my senior year was good too. That's when I played both ways.
Okay.
I did offense and defense.
What about your recruiting process? Junior year, is that when it started to pick up as well?
Yep.
What
Junior year.
what schools did you want to go to? You know, Florida, everybody want to go to Florida State.
Yeah, see, like I wasn't that type of guy. Like I always wanted to like try something different. So I always wanted to go like out of state. I really want to stay in Florida because I'm like I grew up in Florida, stayed in Florida, so I already saw enough of Florida. So I
Mhm.
wanted to try something different, move out of state. So like it was like Maryland. I was looking into um, Syracuse, and that's when Colorado had came up to me too, and that's when the previous staff before Coach Prime came, they wanted me heavy, so that's what that made my decision to come here.
So you made your decision to come here based on the previous staff and the record?
No, it wasn't even about the record.
No, that's what I want to see. Like, what went into that decision, right? Because it's like you see what they had went through, and it's like I just came off winning 3 state championships. I'm a winner. Like when Coach Prime came in, he's like, "How many of y'all have won state?" Right? You raise your hand. A lot of people raise their hand, right? But not everybody, right? So it's different when you're playing with people that's used to winning, right? And you're going to a program where that wasn't the case at the time. So did that kind of deter you? Like, dang, this ain't what I'm used to, but I'm gonna still go and see what happens. Or how did you feel like? I don't know. Like, what made you decide to come to Colorado?
It definitely was that. You know, coming from a winning high school, all you know is about winning. So seeing that record, it just kind of motivated me to once I get there, I'm gonna change the record of the ways how they was coming up. So that was my main idea, my main thing.
Okay. They talked about your brother. Does your brother play football?
Yeah.
Well, who does he play for?
Right now, he working on to get into the UFL.
He's working on getting to the UFL?
Yeah.
Where did he play in college?
He first started off in Illinois. Then he had to go the JUCO route.
Okay.
And he went to I think it was like somewhere in San Fran. Then went to Oregon State, then Colorado State.
I was about to say, they said, how did your family, especially your brother, given the rivalry, react to your choice? Is that a real thing, or was that not a real thing?
I'll say it really wasn't a real thing. I'll probably say I had committed first before he even made his decision to come here. Yeah, because we both came up on a visit for Colorado here, and then after that he went to Colorado State, so I went with him because that was like the next day, and then that's when he made his decision that he was gonna go to Colorado State. I was gonna go here. So I mean, both parents was happy, so we was in the same state, so it wasn't too far of a ride if anybody was in trouble.
Yeah. I don't think you'll be in trouble though.
Nah.
Yeah, Zay. If y'all haven't seen, I've done a lot of videos with Hardge. We did like a day in the life. He's a studious guy. He goes to class. He puts his schoolwork first. He put God first, and he puts his work first. He won't be getting in any type of trouble.
Yeah.
If you do get in trouble, bro, I'll take the fall for you, bro. I got you.
For sure. For sure.
They talk about the rivalry. You came on the visit, right? Was that your first time in Colorado?
No, that was my third time when I came back up here.
For real? On the first visit when you came?
Right, yeah, the first visit I had came from my official, and then I came for a game when they had played Oregon.
I'm saying, so the first time you stepped foot in Colorado was for what? Was it for the visit, or
visit.
Had you came up here previously?
It was a visit.
So what did you think about Boulder, right? Because I'm from the South. Boulder, I pull up, like the first night, I remember me, Shador, Bucky, we all got here. We staying at the St. Julian, and I'm like, Shador's like, oh, I need to go get some, like, toothpaste or something. Bro, after 10, like, everything's closed.
Yeah, everything's closed.
Everything's closed. So I'm like, bro, I live, like, in the country, in the South, and then even in Dallas, like, I can go to Walmart or something.
Yeah.
And I guess, obviously, I didn't remember after COVID, they shut all that down. But I'm like, bro, this is, like, it's a college town, but it wasn't, like, the college town I'm used to, like, in Dallas. So what did you feel like? What was your first impression of the city when you touched down?
When I touched down, it was actually kind of, like, cool. It was chill for me because, like, I really don't go out and pop out nowhere. So I'll just be to myself. And, like you said, with the store, like, the stores, everything closed at a certain time. So, like, for me, so I'm, like, kind of laid back. So I definitely got to, like, get up and go somewhere before they close.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, yeah, that's what kind of made me, like, oh, I got to, like, hurry up before they close. So that's the difference, yeah.
You come out here, you talking about, oh, what you want to eat?
Right.
Let's just play the game real quick. You look up, everything's closed. You're cooked.
Everything closed. You ain't gonna eat no food
You're not gonna eat nothing until breakfast the next morning, bro.
For real.
They don't gotta worry about us being late to breakfast, bro, because a lot of stuff be closed. So breakfast may be the first meal we ate in like 12 hours.
Gee.
Shout out Chef, though. He be snapping.
Yeah, the chef do be snapping.
This is random. What's your favorite meal that they have at the school? Or they kind of serve different stuff. So what's the favorite thing they've ever served up there?
I'll probably say my first one. I'll probably say the Chipotle.
Chipotle?
Yeah, the Chipotle style.
Bro, you're gonna have a lot of your teammates trying to say that's bad. That's bad eats.
That's bad eats?
I don't think it's bad eats. It's good eats to me.
I feel like it's good. I
Who
always eat Chipotle. That's
I
why.
remember who was it that used to get so mad when they walk in there and see Chipotle, bro? It'll be so many people,
Yeah,
bro.
it
I
was so many
forgot who it
people.
was.
They
They'd
be
be
like,
like,
"Oh my
bro,
gosh,
oh
bro!
my
Like I'm not
gosh,
eating
bro.
today. I'm about to go
And
get
then
some
they get
food."
so mad,
Yeah,
bro.
they be getting hard. I don't know why. It be good as heck.
Yeah,
Shoot, free food. Shit, I don't gotta spend no money.
exactly.
Can't knock that.
Yeah. So came up here for the visit. When did you meet first? When did you first meet Coach Prime, and what was your first impression of him?
I had met Coach Prime. My first time meeting him was actually after the meeting. With I think it was like the spring meeting. Yeah, after that spring meeting, and then my first impression wasn't. I know he was kind of like. I say I like coaches like that. Like that's on your butt 24/7.
Hmm.
They want the right things out of you. Always gonna be by your side. They always gonna get on you for no like
For
anything.
anything.
Like literally. So that's how I grew up. Like my pops, he'll get on my butt for some reason. But it's always good to get on somebody, keep them on the right path, guide them the right way. So that's what I kind of took in, like when I first met him.
Okay. What? Let's do a quick backstory. What type of pedigree does your pops come from? Like, what was his profession? Where did he come from? Did he play football?
Yeah. So my dad, he played football. He had a good time in the NFL. He played for the Buffalo Bills.
That's hard. I didn't know he played in the league.
Yeah, he played. He went to Division II school in college. Played in the league for a little bit with the Buffalo Bills. Then right now he in coaching at high school. He's the offensive coordinator at American Heritage.
Mm. Okay. So you come from that pedigree, so it's only a matter of time for you, get to that league.
Yeah,
Coach Prime, was there a difference? Did you take a lot? How many visits did you take? Did you visit any other schools?
I have visited Maryland. I visited West Virginia, Marshall, Penn State,
Okay.
and Florida State.
So the meeting you're referring to, is that the Louis Luggage meeting? That's the one you first seen him in?
Yeah.
That one, right? So how was he different than the other programs, or how was he different than the other coaches that you had come to know?
I'll just say, um, just more like life, more of life, and then football. You not gonna get no better coaching than getting coached from a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
He's been down that path. He's been through that road. He knows what it takes to get there. So that's why I kind of keyed on to making my decision to come here. And there's none like Coach Prime.
Mm-hmm. I know you're speaking highly of Coach Prime, but Coach Prime spoke highly of you as well. One of the questions is, and I know this personally because I've heard him say it a lot of times. He said Coach Prime has expressed high expectations for you. Um, how did that feel when he finally vocalized that to the masses? Because he probably told you in private. There's been times I can't lie, I'll just leak it on here. I think I went to breakfast with Coach. Remember?
Mm.
And I called you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Coach said, bro, you that, yeah, you him, right? That's what he's thinking of you. And I just wanted you to know that because I know he's not the type to always praise, right? He's gonna just nitpick.
Yeah.
Like I could send him 1,000 videos. He's not gonna tell me good job. He's just gonna say post.
Right.
Post, post, post.
That's
so
how he
it's
is.
like y'all go through the same thing. And why would he tell you what you're doing right when usually that just makes people feel comfortable?
Yeah.
So I wanted to let you know, like in private, that he's actually one of your biggest fans. So then when he finally put that out to the public, like, hey, I'm really high on this guy, Hardge. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel good. Shout out Pops, appreciate it. But it made me feel good. You know, I'm just a hard worker. Humble. Like hearing that coming from him, especially your head coach, it puts some stuff on your shoulders. Knowing that you gotta have his back, and then at any means, he always looking up to you. He always expecting more from you. So it made me carry myself a little different. Hearing that.
Mm-hmm. The fans want to know, where do you get your patience from? They said your level of maturity stands out. And I mean, you kind of just talked about it. Even your day to day, you're out the way. You be at home, you be chilling, right? You go to practice, you punch in, you lock in, you put in extra work. Um, there's even videos we've done. You were in class and you went to go work out real quick, and you got to go to another class, right? So they want to talk about your maturity. You kind of talked about where you're from kind of shaped that. But where do you feel like you get that patience and your demeanor from?
I get that patience from my mom. Um, she always been patient, being patient with the family, being patient with me. So that kind of just grew on me. And then while I got older, it just made me more mature. I always grew around like my older brother's friends. So I kind of matured quicker than like a lot of my people ages. 'Cause I was just around older people. So, and then the patient part, just my mom. I got my patience from my mom.
Hmm. When was the last time you talked to her?
I talked to her today.
You did?
Yeah.
I need to text my mom back. That's why I'm saying that, because shout out to you, Mom. I
Right.
know
Shout
you're
out,
watching
mom.
this. She's like, why are you recording this podcast and you looking at your phone and you just not going to respond to my text? I put my phone on airplane mode because Shiloh just texted me. I'm not trying to ignore you. So you say you get your patience from your mom. I want to know, how do you stay locked in when things get chaotic? Because things aren't always good, right? Things
Right.
aren't always good for anyone. We just seen what happened with bro. It's unfortunate, right?
Long live.
Long live him and his family. And it's like that's things that people don't understand. And I'm gonna just take liberty to speak on something before I ask the question, because I feel like I can. I know Jimmy Horn pretty well. He's my friend. He's my brother. But I don't know everything he goes through, right? I remember there was a moment during the season where, I think it was before the season, where not all the comments, the haters, sometimes the hate just pop out the most, even though it's only a small portion. It could be like two people, but somehow that just gets a lot of highlight, right? So they kept saying, catch the ball, catch the ball, catch the ball. Not knowing, bro, this dude has so much in his head, so much on his shoulders, as do other people, right? Fast forward, at the end of the season, I'm watching the documentary where Jimmy's going to speak for his father. And bro, I literally cried, bro. And I called bro, and I'm just like, bro, I was like, when I see you, I see greatness. That's all I told him. It's like, bro, you're motivation for me to keep going. Because he's trying to be strong for somebody that he looks up to. You know what I'm saying? That dynamic that takes a special person to be to do that. And I just talk about that isolated incident to parallel it to anything you might be going through, right? So there's a lot of things that the fans will never know that you go through. All they care about is that you run the right route and catch the ball.
Right.
That's all they're gonna care about. If you don't do that, they think you're worthless, right? So how do you keep that self-worth in of yourself, and how do you stay level-headed, or what do you do when things get chaotic behind the scenes to not let it show up on the field?
You know, my pops had told me when I was little, like, anytime, going in the game days or practice, or even social media, just ignore the noise. Like, just let them talk. Keep doing you. Don't worry about what they say or the they says. Just keep out there and grinding. Just prove them wrong. Haters are always gonna come and go. Always gonna be haters on anybody's shoulders. So no. So it's always times like to prove them right. Show the world. Like, y'all can hate, and I'm gonna still do me. Like, that's just who I am as a person.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you've proven your detractors wrong so far, or do you feel like you still have more to prove to shut them up? Obviously, you know what you can do, but it's always gonna be a thing where it's like, just tired of hearing that, bro. I know what I can do. Was there a moment that you've had so far that you felt like I showed y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can y'all say now?
Yeah. There's always room to improve. I'm always trying to shut them up.
Yeah.
I'm never the type of to get complacent. I know they always gonna talk about some or pick the little small things to talk about, but I just genuinely ignore them. I really don't care what people say.
Have you ever thought about leaving? Honestly,
Nah.
no moment.
Okay. Nah, I never thought about leaving.
For
life.
Buff for life. Shout out to you.
Buff for life.
Hey, he said buff for life. So if anybody's out there with the bag, this is a life. This is like a franchise player right here. He's saying he wants to stay here for life. So that would be a smart investment for all y'all business people out there. He's gonna be here until he goes to the league.
For sure.
If I was y'all, I'd get behind Hardge. Pause. Financially, I get behind Hardge financially, and use him to promote the program because he's well spoken. He's a good young man. Okay, cool. What's your why when it comes to football?
My why is my peoples. My mom, my grandma, and my dad. I do it for them. You know, it's a big part of me, doing it for my grandma because I'm far away and I get to barely see her too. So you know, even though I know she want to see me bad, but it's that flight that's getting her. So I
Mm-hmm.
do that junk for my mama and my grandma and my dad. Do it for them every day. Wake up for them, you know, pray about it, make sure they always good, and make sure they got a special place in my heart.
Mm-hmm. So that's your why. That's why you do it. That's why you wake up. That's why you even play this game. But what is motivating you to get more, to do more, and specifically this season? What's the biggest motivating factor?
Just do it. At the end of the day, I just want to do it for me because I love it. I love this game ever since I was little, and growing up, seeing myself develop and shape myself into the person I am now. It just gives me more motivation to keep going, knowing that I can reach that top of the level, the next level, which is the NFL. So every day I wake up and just get to work, get to clocking in, do it for my why, do it for my peoples, and do it for me at the end of the day.
Yeah. If you had to, if you had to decide what letter you would put on your jersey or what letter you would earn on your jersey, right? Would you say you would lean more to the leader side or the dog side?
That's a good question.
Let you think, and I'm gonna give my answer. So Zay is a dog because he plays like that, but he's actually a leader too, though. But
Yeah,
it just depends. It just depends like what mode, what vibe, like what's the situation, right?
yeah,
Sometimes it's like it's not for. I've seen it's like sometimes it's like it's not for talking. Like oh, I'm gonna just go turn up real quick. And sometimes it is like, hey, we gotta. You see what I'm saying? It's like
yeah.
you could do both. But what do you feel like most resonates with you?
I'll probably, I'll probably put that L on my jersey.
The L.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
You're a
even
lead by example
yeah,
type of guy.
I'm gonna lead
For
by
a
example.
1000%.
Yo, I lead by example. Even though the leaders, sometimes that dog still come out. So
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. So that dog still come out when you're a leader. Just getting the receiver group, the crowd up to log back in. Knowing that we got to make a big time game decision play. Anybody can get the ball. So I'll definitely put that L on my jersey.
Yeah. Coach Prime. Smitty.
Right.
Smitty.
That
Coach
L ready.
Prime.
Get that L ready, coach.
Smitty. Coach Prime.
Get that
Uh,
L ready.
when did you first realize we're gonna transition to talking about the two-way identity as football, right? Cool. When did you first realize that you were elite on both sides of the ball?
Want me to go back or you talking about now?
Go back.
Go back. I'd definitely say when I was playing Little League, when I first played DB. Actually, I'm gonna go back. I played QB first.
You play
So
QB?
yeah, I played QB first. That was my first position, and that's when after that I always was like switching around like defensive line. You'll never think I was playing defensive
You
line.
play D line. Bro, you're just trolling. He's just saying stuff.
I'm so dead serious.
We're talking about he played QB, then he
I will
played
pull
D
up a
line.
video of me on the D line. I promise I'll pull up a
Okay,
video on the D line.
all right, Twitter warriors, pull up the video once you see
I
this
will pull
clip.
up a video. But yeah, I played D line. I think they did every position. So that's when I got introduced to receiver when I was 13, and that's when
Yeah.
after that I kind of fell in love with it, and that's when my dad and my brother they were in DB, so I always wanted to like take the different path. So I didn't want to really be a DB, but that's when high school I kind of figured like I could really do both my senior year. Like I could do offense, receiver, and play DB. And coming here, I came in as a receiver at first, did special teams, and that's when they flipped me to DB. After that, it was like my heart was at DB, but still, it was like leaning towards receiver. But that's when Coach Prime told him like everything with Coach Prime. If you want to play DB, gotta dominate one side. So I stuck to that plan, dominated the defensive side, and that's when got that great jersey. And after that, it was just like, okay, I feel myself like I could really do this at the collegiate level. Like even though I did it at the high school, I know I could do it at the collegiate level.
The gray jersey. I remember the gray jersey era. The gray jersey era is still in full effect.
Yeah, still
But
is.
what did that mean to you to actually have the second gray jersey, like the only other gray jersey in college football? Like only two people I've seen with that is you and Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Right. So what type of pride did you have putting that on? Like, yeah, I'm one of the ones.
Yeah. You know, When I first got it, it was a shocker at
What was that
first.
situation like? Did you go to your locker to see it in there? Like, walk us through when you first received a gray jersey.
All right, bet. So came in, went to the loop, my locker, put the pen in, and I'm already asleep. I'm already like sleepy walking in that joint. I ain't even gonna hold you. So I walk in, I open it. So I'm like, great. I'm like, oh shoot, I got a gray. I'm hyped, I can't wait to practice. I'm in that bit smiling,
Yeah,
cheesing, happy as
yeah,
heck. So I'm like,
yeah.
okay, finally I got the gray. But all leading to that, it's just hard work and dedication. At the end of the day, just go out there and just work. That's included in life. If you want something, go out there and get it. Um, just put your head down and grind.
Mhm.
You'll definitely achieve it.
So now that you've achieved that status and that cosign from the coaches of knowing we can rely on him in both positions, what has been your daily or weekly routine to prepare for both of those positions? Right, like the question is, what's your weekly routine like when you're preparing for a wide receiver and DB? Practices, film, and recovery.
hmm So practice, of course. Right now in spring, I'm only doing strictly receiver, but sometimes or sometimes after practice, I still stay out, get some work in, catching the ball. Then on my like after class or whatever I'm done, I come back or go to a field that's open like on campus. Then just work on my DB skills still. Um, really just tuning in to my body, doing treatment, dry needling, cupping, staying healthy again, compression on my legs, making sure they always refresh like for the next day, and just tuning into my body, because it's always gonna take a hold, especially doing two ways.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do. To tune in.
Okay. Um, have you had any conversations with Trav when he was here about playing two ways? This is no eats or anything. They're just strictly
Yeah,
asking because obviously Travis Hunter won the Heisman. So, did you have any conversations with him about playing both ways at all?
yeah. I had a conversation with him. It was in the DB room. He was just telling me, just go out there and just be yourself. Always tone into your technique. Always go to your technique. Even on the receiver side, he was just always attacking the ball. Like whatever the ball is, you attack that junk. Like, make sure it's like your ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't give a damn like how far it is, how the QB throw the ball. That ball is always yours, and go get it. So definitely talk to Trav about that, and then the DB just go out there and be yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then stay tuned to your technique.
Okay. Um, you played multiple positions since coming to CU. Has the versatility shaped your understanding of the game, or how has your versatility shaped your understanding of the game? Because you got to understand, like I'm a QB, I'm focusing on that, but your understanding of the game is a little bit broader because it's like I'm thinking offense and defense. Do you feel like that's helped you? Do you feel like that's an edge that you have over some players?
Yeah, it definitely helped me on knowing both sides of the ball, receiver and DB. Like just lining up at receiver, the ins and outs of what the DB is trying to do to you, and then vice versa. Knowing the releases of a receiver. He only got like 4 seconds until the D line get to him. So he gotta get in and out of his breaks at a certain point. Knowing the route depths, knowing the concepts. So it definitely did shape me and kind of slowed down the game for me
Mm.
doing both.
So this season, what do you plan on playing the most?
Mm. I want to do both. I want to keep it the same and do both.
Okay.
You know,
Um, what part of your game have you worked on the most this offseason?
I'll say receiver and then a little bit of DB now and then.
Mm. Is there an underrated part of playing at Colorado that's helped you develop as a player or a person? I think the main one people think about is obviously you have a bunch of NFL coaches, you got all the cameras, you got basically all the coverage that you would get in the NFL, right? But what do you feel like playing at Colorado has given you that you wouldn't have got at any other school?
For me, I'll just say motivation. I'll say motivation because coming into the team room, looking at the walls, looking at the coaches, all the coaches been in the league.
Literally.
So, literally, like I want to be the next one to get into the league. You know, so given that motivation, you got 3 Hall of Famers, Prime, Fault, and then Sap. So yeah, that's my goal. So just make it to the league, getting that gold jacket.
How has being at Colorado for the last 3 years shaped you? Do you feel different now? Like low key, when you go back home, it's like, dang, I'm a Colorado guy now.
Yeah, it definitely feel weird, going back home. They always be like, "Oh, you a Colorado boy now?"
Yeah,
Like,
you be in the
nah,
mountains, bro. You
right?
be
You be in the
hiking.
mountains. You be in the mountains hiking. Like, no, man, I'm still a Florida baby at the end of the day.
hmm
So, yeah.
Do you think this year's wide receiver room is better than the last?
Are we including Travis?
They didn't specify, so it's up to us. I don't know.
All right, if they're including Travis, no eats.
No.
No.
He's an invaluable part. It's cool.
Right.
It's fine.
He's a big factor of that room. But if they're not, then I say we close to even.
Hard.
Yes.
Okay. Who's an underrated player on the team that the fans need to watch out for? That you want to give their flowers?
Underrated? I give it a Carter. I'm gonna hold you.
Okay.
I give it a Carter. Carter been on his road coming back ever since he got hurt. He definitely been on his butt. He always been working with me, so
Yeah,
I definitely give it to
you
Carter.
turned him up a little piece? Okay, yeah.
I give it to Carter.
What about a freshman? Has there been any freshman that's impressed you so far?
Yeah, I got some freshmen. All my freshmen. You got Joe, you got Q, and you got X. So all 3 of them,
They be snapping.
impress me. Yeah, they be snapping. They still got things to work on though. So we gonna get that. We gonna get that fixed before the season comes down.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been snapping spring.
What DB on the team do you feel like, for you, has helped your game the most? Right, when y'all go up against each other, it's good on good. It's iron sharpens iron.
Yo, I say Preston Hardge. He always, we always going at it. Even from last season, we always going at it. You know, I won some, he won some. So I think I'll definitely say he do, a good job shaping me into the receivers. I'm just, iron sharpen iron. So, we always go at it.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk about something that's overlooked a lot of times: special teams. Do you feel like your experience on special teams has helped you develop as a player?
Yeah, of course.
And if so, how?
Well, I would say for me, coming from your freshman year, you know, you always want to get acclimated to like college level. So I'll say definitely special team is like a good acclimated. You get acclimated real quick to like how the game go. It's definitely faster than high school.
Mm-hmm.
You got bigger players now that you really can't do whatever to them. They grown, like you got grown men now. So in special teams it definitely get you right. So anybody that's out there, going through that, just embrace the special team role, and just go out there and work your butt off because you never know you never know what's gonna happen
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. So,
we're gonna talk a little bit more about your personal side. What's the favorite uniform combination so far that we rocked? I think mine's all gray. Either
yeah,
the
I was
first.
gonna say the all gray one.
No,
Hard too.
bro, you just saying that
See,
because
okay,
I
no,
just
no.
said that,
I
bro.
promise,
Or I'll go
'cause I
all
said-
white with the first
you know,
game of the season.
You know what the funny thing about it
TCU.
was? Because I was literally in the bed. I saw the comments. I was reading them. I was like,
Ah!
"What's the best unis?" I was like, "Dang, I like the gray though." But if we talk about like the unis, I'll say if we had like gold face mask and then we went all black, I'll probably say that would be.
Did we
hard
not do
too.
that?
Nah, we ain't do that. We did gold face mask with white and black,
Okay.
and we went all black. That would have probably been hard.
So the all gray though.
Yeah, the all
Great
gray
mind
kind of
thinks
my top
alike.
one though.
Yeah, I don't
That-
know what it is about the all gray.
It's just that junk hard.
Yeah, it's just icy, bro.
That junk so clean.
Speaking of favorites, you have a favorite tattoo or piece that you've drawn yourself? Zay actually is an artist, y'all. He does a lot of things. He makes music, he streams. He's multi-talented.
Yeah, I got a favorite drawing I drew. It was Ghostface, a realistic Ghostface picture. that I had drew in high school.
Where do you feel like you got that artistic side from, or was it always in you?
I'll say it was always with me. I ain't gonna hold you. Ever since I was little, I was always drawing.
Doodling and stuff like that.
Yeah, just in class, just drawing.
So
I even do it now
wasn't paying
still.
attention.
Oh, I always pay attention now.
Oh,
Don't get that wrong.
multitask.
I always pay attention, but
You
when they get off
multitask?
topic, I just do it a little bit.
Okay. They want to know what you're like off the field. What's your go-to hobby when you're not grinding? It used to be streaming, but I can't get Zay to stream anymore.
Oh, now he can't get Zay to stream.
But I can get him to pull up to the podcast. So shout out to Zay.
Okay.
W Zay.
No, the streaming got to be on hold right now. I got to wait for some
I get
equipment to come. But
Can we get a sponsor for that, please? I'm literally not joking. This would be a perfect opportunity for anybody out there to bless somebody that's in college, that's going up, that's grinding. So please watch this and think of it seriously.
yeah.
So you waiting on some equipment and what else?
And then I'll probably say gaming and then fishing.
Fishing?
Yeah, when I go back to the crib.
I feel like people just be saying that, bro, because your head coach is a fisherman. Like, everybody don't be fishing, bro. You being for real? Oh, why you shaking your head like that? You really like that? Yes?
Yes.
It's me?
Yes, it's me. I like that saltwater fishing. See, y'all can have the ponds, the lakes. I like saltwater. I like going on the boat.
Oh, so that's the big boy.
Yeah, I like that big boy.
Yeah, okay. So what's the levels of fishing? Like, what's where it's like you just doing it for the look, and what's where it's like I'm really that? Like, give me the scope, because I don't know too much about fishing.
I'll just break it down to you like this. Like, okay, like when you fish, like Coach Prime fish, like you go out that joint, you know he catching something.
Yeah.
So like, and then you got people like, they just go out there just to throw a rod and a line in the damn water and then not catch nothing.
Yeah.
You just sitting there, then get mad you ain't catching nothing. Like, it's like, it's levels to it, So you definitely got to know what you're doing when you definitely go fishing.
Okay.
There's a time of day when you got to go fishing, because they might not be biting, tides high, tides low. So there's a lot to it.
Okay. What's on your pregame playlist? What's in your headphones before the game?
I got a whole bunch. I got Rod. I got NBA Youngboy, Lil Durk, Moneybag Yo, and Kodak.
Hey, Rod Wave just need to come back and do a concert down here.
Right, he needs to.
Every single person that comes on here talking about, I listen to Rod Wave.
Yeah.
Every day.
It hits the soul different. It hit different.
I can't lie. I was a big Rod Wave fan, like back in high school, college. Then for some reason, I started feeling like he was like on some sad stuff. But look, I actually did my research. It's actually not sad music.
No.
It's actually like motivational music.
Yeah.
But it's just a different way. You see what I'm saying?
Yo.
Like even other people like Youngboy, I may think it's like most violence music, but it's some of it is, but it's not always that.
Not always.
Like you got to really hear what people are saying.
Right. You got to listen to the lyrics.
Somebody said this. This is Cap. This is a fan favorite. They say, "Why you never smile?" I don't know who said it. This Cap. Like, I don't know if y'all want him to be smiling on the football field.
No. Right.
In Indy, is he supposed to be smiling in Indy when he got his coach over here going crazy? I don't know if that's the time and place. You want him to smile pregame? Like what?
Right. You want me to show all 32? Like no. It's the time and place for that. When I got to smile,
No,
like when you catch me off here, I'ma smile, of course. But when we on that field, when it's business, it's time to lock in. Ain't no smiling.
40 time. Zay's a slider though.
I said I give myself. I haven't ran a 40 in a little minute. I give myself a 4-4, like high 4-4s.
Bro, we seen you doing the workouts during the break. You look like you was running faster than that.
Bro?
Yeah. Zay was doing a whole, I don't even know what type of workout. He was doing a David Goggins workout on the hill. Marine Corps workout, yeah. I don't know what was going on. Do you do that often?
Yeah.
You hit the hills?
Yeah, I hit the hills.
Who put you onto the hill workout?
My pops.
Shout out Pops, man.
Shoot, it used to be a bigger hill. We just went to that little small hill just to get
that was nothing?
Yeah, that was nothing. Shoot, it's one in the back. That junk steep. It's like go up and you going straight up.
What's the hardest workout you've ever been through in Colorado? Y'all been through some crazy stuff.
That Marine workout.
The first one?
Yes, that first one.
Wait, what was the
Ooh.
first one? The first one wasn't in the pool.
No.
Was the first one in the gym?
Yeah, the first one was on the field. And
Oh,
IPF
bro,
with
look
the
at
plank.
the thumbnail.
Yeah,
I
with
have
the
you
plank.
doing a plank
Yeah,
with
yeah.
everybody around you. Yeah,
I ain't
that's
gonna lie, that joke was
hard.
biting. That was my first time telling. Like, whoo, that run on that mat, that junk ain't no joke.
Ooh, boy.
That junk ain't no joke.
Okay. Are you changing your number this season or keeping 17?
Now I'm keeping 17.
What does 17 mean?
It really mean, I ain't gonna lie. It don't got a meaning. I just like 17. I always I liked it 11, 1, 3, 17. I was just my favorite numbers.
Okay, coming up. What's your favorite part about living in Colorado?
Favorite part? Seeing that view in the stadium. Looking at that joint, that junk's surreal.
It looks
Looking into
fake.
mountains, right. It look fake. Especially coming from down south, you don't see nothing like that. When you see hills, that's all you see.
Favorite Bible verse and why? You have one?
4:13, I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You know, I always give thanks to the Lord, for waking me up. I'm just gonna say that, with the accident part.
Yeah.
So, ever since, I knew always God literally looking over me.
Yeah, God is always watching over you.
Right.
Yeah, you're one of the chosen ones.
Yeah.
Your tongue in.
So that Bible scripture stick with me at all costs.
What do you think is one thing people get wrong about you?
People think I'm mean just because how my face look. I just got a real straight face.
Yeah.
They be scared to approach me. I be like, nah, you approach me, I'll be cooling. That's just my RBF.
I can't lie. I was afraid to approach you, bro. I thought you was mean too. I'm just kidding. I gotta stop because then they're gonna be like, "See, we told you." He's like, "Nah,
nah, man. I'm real cool."
The funny part is, I think people like that be having those type of faces. They probably the cool ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
you
they
just
just
gotta get to
vibing.
know them, right? They just
never
be
know.
chilling. Just come up. Shoot, I ain't gonna bite.
Okay. What's your personal goal for the season? Goal or goals?
Personal goals, definitely do one and done. That's my personal goal.
You finna be out?
I'm trying to do one and done.
Bro, what am I gonna do? I'm coming with you.
You slide?
Bad.
Oh, my fault.
We'll sign the contract.
Yeah, look at that.
Bad. Okay, one and done.
One and done. Definitely hit 1K in yards.
The Banders?
Yep. Hit 1K in yards. 10 plus touchdowns. Win any type of big award. But I'm definitely shooting for that Heisman. Definitely shooting for Heisman. Win Olympic and then what's it? The Jim Thorpe. That's the DB one. Yeah, the Jim Thorpe Award. And yeah, just win any type of big name award.
So those are your personal goals. What are you most looking forward to accomplish this year as I guess a team? Those are kind of the same questions, but it could be different answer if you have a different perspective.
Yeah, as a team, my goal for the team is, to do better from last year and make it to the Big 12 championship and even more, and make it to that natty. Trying to definitely get a natty.
Natty. They want to know, is the grind worth it, in your opinion? Everything, if you had to put a list, like you had a list, right, with a line in the middle, what you put in and what you got out, do you honestly think it's worth it all the time?
Yeah. No. Like a lot of people will say like sometimes the grind ain't worth it, but it's definitely worth it, especially if you put the grind, like the motivation and dedication, waking up and going out there and go get it. It's definitely worth it. You definitely will accomplish whatever you want in life. So, don't ever doubt yourself, because once you let doubt in, then you lost it all. So that's what my dad harped on me about, just not letting doubt in my head at any cost. Always lift your head up, smile, be happy that you're living, and get to work to what you want to achieve. So the grind is definitely worth it.
They want to know, with the talent that we have this season in every position, how do you plan to stand out?
Coming to work every day, showing showcasing my ability, that I could be trusted, with the QBs and the offensive coaches, of course. Just being myself. You can never go wrong with being yourself and not trying to be somebody else that you're not.
Okay. And then lastly, greatness. They want to talk about greatness. What does greatness mean to you?
Starting from back at home, like, that's starting off the field in class, going to class, getting good grades, and then, of course, on the field, catching every ball, rounding everybody up, locking everybody up, doing the small things that nobody wants to do, doing everything, working out, while closed doors, like nobody's seeing you. So I'll say that's the definition of greatness. And, this, what you're going to see from me is the exact same thing, me coming out there to work every day, not complaining, always head down, ready to work. And in season, just to shine, just showcase my talent.
I'm definitely ready for it too. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, can't do that. But I definitely have my money on Hardge, bro. I got my money on you all the way to the
Always,
top.
man.
This has been Isaiah
Always.
Hardge. Before we go to spring game, just to kind of get them excited. How you feeling about spring game, bro?
I'm excited about the spring. I'm excited about the spring game. Dang, I heard that we probably won't even like. I don't know. Is we like keeping the whole thing scheduled?
I don't know.
I don't know. But
What
if
you
we do,
heard, brother?
huh?
What you heard?
I don't know. I just heard a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. I heard a lot. We like we're not doing this. We ain't doing that. Shoot, I don't know. But if we do have the whole thing, I'm excited. Y'all gonna see a whole bunch of 1-7 scoring, round people up. Getting yards, first downs a lot.
How long?
You feel
Yeah.
me? So I'm excited.
What about the Selly?
The Selly?
What's your Selly?
I got a whole bunch. I ain't gonna hold you. I got a lot. I was holding on to that junk from last year too.
What is it? Do you have any Selly with the cameraman?
Nah, I got no Selly cameraman.
You gotta do that.
I got
be
to.
different, bro.
Yeah, that would be different. So who gonna record it if you?
Me.
How? If I got a Selly with you?
Bro, look. I had the camera. I'll be on the phone.
Yeah.
I dap you up. We can do the Selly right there.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You got to put that bit in like 0.5, though.
Yeah, 0.5.
Okay, bet.
Yeah,
I'll come out. We'll come out with a handshake, a little something behind the camera.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be great too, bro. That's all I'm trying to do, bro.
I got you.
I get inspired by y'all, bro.
I got you, brother.
All right. This has been Zay Hardge. Do you have anything that you want to shout out, promote? My people would love to support y'all. So,
no, y'all could just support me on my IG, Isaiah Hardge 17, my Twitter, KZ Isaiah 1, capital K, capital Z, capital I, and my TikTok, of course, is the same as my IG. So I appreciate you for having me on the podcast.
Of course, bro. It's been long overdue. Have I asked you to come on here before? When?
Remember me and Me's?
Yes. It was supposed to be live. It was supposed to be even like it was supposed to be dorm. Dorm life. I was supposed to pull up to the dorms.
Yeah.
And really show how y'all was living. What happened?
Come on, brother.
Bro, what happened, dude?
What you mean? What happened?
What happened?
What happened? What happened? You ain't come through.
Nah, what happened, bro?
You ain't come through.
Nah, you know what happens? Like when guys like get the great jersey and stuff like that, they just don't answer the phone. So it's hard to kind of get in, like, especially like, you know what I'm saying? They play on TV in front of a lot of people. So it's hard to get a hold of them. I think that's what happened, if I remember.
Stop it. Stop it.
All right,
we
y'all.
all know it's Aries.
No, it wasn't me, y'all.
No.
So put down below in the comments any other videos that y'all want to see with Hardge now that y'all know a little bit more about his life. Hopefully we can get Zay to stream again. He's like a really multi-talented guy, like for real, besides the football. So there's a lot that he has to offer, and I feel like y'all would rock with. If y'all want him to start a YouTube channel, spam it. If we get like 1,000 likes, you should actually start it, because then you could monetize it ASAP. Right.
Matter of fact, I did.
You do have one?
Yeah, I got one.
Right,
y'all follow my YouTube too. It's Isaiah Hardge. I got it. Yeah, I forgot about that. Tripping.
Yeah, tripping.
Tripping.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right?
You're right.
All right, so 17 jerseys. I need to see a lot of those at the spring game and throughout the whole season. I know I'll be rocking mine. It's been Reach the People podcast with Darius Sanders. Shout out to Zay. Shout out Izzy. Shout out Frank. Shout out Instant T Media. We out.